Before Ballard made waves with its gritty political intrigue and haunting noir tone, Maggie Q had already proven her mettle in the world of espionage television. Nearly 15 years ago, she headlined Nikita, a high-octane action drama that aired from 2010 to 2013 on the CW. Though often overlooked in modern conversations, Nikita was a groundbreaking series with a compelling lead performance, top-tier fight choreography, and a surprising amount of emotional complexity. Holding a strong 85% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the series has quietly earned cult classic status, and in 2025, it feels more relevant than ever. Now starring in Ballard, Maggie Q has returned to prestige television in a role that feels like a spiritual successor to her work on Nikita. For viewers just discovering her through Ballard, revisiting Nikita isn't just worthwhile, it's essential. This is the show that first established Maggie Q not just as a capable action lead, but as a genre-defining talent. Maggie Q's career-changing role in Nikita. Before leading Nikita, Maggie Q was no stranger to action. She had already appeared in major films like Mission, Impossible 3, and Live Free or Die Hard, often cast as the lone female operative in male-dominated worlds. But those roles rarely allowed her to stretch beyond stoic glances and stylish combat. Nikita was different. It put her character, Nikita Mears, squarely at the narrative center. A reimagining of Luc Besson's La Femme Nikita and the 90s cult TV show of the same name, this version gave the concept new urgency. Nikita was a rogue assassin, once recruited and brainwashed by a covert organization called Division, who breaks free and vows to dismantle the agency from the outside. Equal parts emotionally damaged and morally resolute, Nikita became a unique kind of antihero, not defined by vengeance, but by justice on her own terms. At the time, a woman of color leading a primetime action series was unprecedented for the CW. But Maggie Q rose to the challenge, delivering a performance that was physically demanding and emotionally nuanced. She turned what could have been a stock super spy into a layered character grappling with trauma, guilt, and redemption. Her work on Nikita paved the way for more complex female leads in action television. The show that was ahead of its time, premiering in a landscape still dominated by male-led procedurals and superhero fare, Nikita took bold risks. Its tone leaned more toward 24 and the Bourne Identity than the glossy melodrama the CW was known for. The stakes were high, the violence unflinching, and the character arcs deeply personal. It tackled themes of identity, surveillance, and institutional corruption long before those became pop culture staples. The action was a standout. With many of her own stunts performed by Q herself, the fight scenes felt urgent and raw. But the emotional confrontations hit just as hard. Nikita wasn't invincible. She was haunted, conflicted, and often unsure. This humanity is what made the show resonate. While it had its share of twisty espionage thrills, Nikita ultimately told a story about breaking cycles of abuse and reclaiming one's agency. Critics praised its tight writing and mature storytelling, particularly in the first 2 seasons. Over 4 seasons, Nikita told a complete story without overstaying its welcome. Its short run allowed it to avoid the narrative bloat that plagues many genre shows, making it ideal for rediscovery in today's streaming age. The legacy lives on in Ballard. In Ballard, Maggie Q brings a quieter but equally compelling intensity. Her character, older, more subdued, but just as morally driven, feels like the natural evolution of Nikita. The DNA is unmistakable, a lone figure navigating corruption, determined to do right in a world built to break people like her. But where Nikita fought in the shadows with fists and firepower, Ballard's heroine moves through foggy moral gray zones, using her wits and weary wisdom. This isn't a reinvention, it's a refinement. Watching Ballard is rewarding in its own right, but for longtime fans, it's also a full-circle moment. It's a testament to Maggie Q's range that she continues to build on what she began in Nikita, shaping a screen legacy rooted in strength, vulnerability, and quiet rebellion. Why Nikita deserves a rewatch in 2025. Beyond its entertainment value, Nikita was prophetic. It tackled issues of government overreach, psychological manipulation, and the ethics of Black Ops warfare, topics that dominate today's headlines. Its visual style, tight pacing, and uncompromising tone feel more like a modern streaming drama than a relic of 2010's broadcast TV. It was also years ahead in terms of representation. Maggie Q's casting as an Asian American lead was groundbreaking, and the show's diverse cast, including Lindsay Fonseca, Shane West, and Melinda Clark, helped paint a world that felt lived in and complex. Each character had layered motivations and personal stakes, making betrayals hit harder and alliances more fragile. For new audiences, Nikita offers a masterclass in how to blend action with emotion, spectacle with substance. For longtime fans, it's a reminder of a time when television took daring chances, when a female-led, emotionally driven spy series could not only exist but thrive. Maggie Q's current success in Ballard is not a reinvention, it's a continuation. The seeds were planted long ago in Nikita, a show that challenged norms, broke ground, and created one of the most compelling characters in modern action TV. In 2025, there's no better time to revisit where it all began.